What are you waiting for? If you have a voice in your head, a feeling in your heart that you know you want to do something at a higher and higher level, are you waiting for approval from somebody? Are you waiting for permission? Are you waiting for the audience to validate you and someone to pluck you from the street and say, hey, you're guaranteed to win? I have a message in this video that you need to listen to. Are you ready?
I'm with my fave of all time.
And Miss Lorraine Lawson.
Lorraine Lawson.
Lorraine Lawson. Lorraine Lawson.
Lorraine Lawson. I just love her so much.
Okay, so I want to talk to all of you who really have a mission. You have a dream, you have a voice in your head to really go for what you want, but something is stopping you. And usually what's stopping you are three significant sentences, and I'm going to dive into each sentence in detail. The first sentence that you're probably waiting for is how. If I knew how to achieve it, then I would do it. If I knew that I could win once I get on the road, I would absolutely do it. And that might come from some of you who have had parents who said, like, listen, to go for your dreams is crazy. It's going to lead to disappointment and pain. In fact, our whole society has been built on this message that creative people can't make money at what they love to do. And I'm here to tell you, and in many videos I've already shared it, that it's actually creative people that are at the highest tier in our society. They make the most money. Why? Because usually super creative people are not waiting for permission from others. They are the ones who are solving the problem. They are asking how, but they are not asking, how do I do it? What is the methodology? In fact, they're coming up with the methodology. They are hiring the right people to be a part of their team, enrolling people who have some of those answers that collectively together they can brainstorm, collaborate, and they can elevate the vibe in the room. They can connect dots, find the right puzzle pieces faster than other people. Is that you? Do you want to be one of those people? Because most of those people are not playing the game of life just to win. And in fact, most people at that very high creative level have lost a lot along the way. Everybody's talking about Taylor Swift. There is not a university program, business program, that is not diving deeply into analyzing her career. Do you know how many times she lost? How many times she thought she was going to win the award and didn't? How many collaborations she asked for and people turned her down? And how many fans turned on her when she wanted to shift, from country music to pop music? You have to really be so brave, so resilient, so believing in yourself that this is the direction that I want to go in. I'm going to be unstoppable. My rocket is going up. Who wants to become a part of this ride? Tyler Perry is one of the most significant figures in the last 10, 15 years, not by chasing what other people thought a producer, a director, an actor needed to do. He was like, I'm going to create my own production company. If you're not going to give me the money to make the movies that I want to make, if they're not following your standards, whoever those people were in the boardrooms and the decision makers at the time, he was like, I'm just going to create my own production company. I'm going to do it for myself. And as a result, he's one of the most successful producers of all time. So if you want to be a creative, this is the time to do it. You do not need to go to school for 4 years to do it. Now, hello, parents. I know if you're watching this, you're going to be like, don't tell my kids not to go to school. But I am going to tell them not to go to school necessarily for what they love to do. I would love the people who are listening who are creative, your songwriters, your performers, dancers, whatever it might be. I would like you to really consider that you can get the skills that you need faster through private coaching, through short-term programs, proximity, going to LA, for example. I have two singer-dancers that I've worked with on and off for many, many years who are in Wicked right now. It's so amazing. But along the way, they made some very big decisions. How do I achieve my dream of getting into these big films? Well, one of them is proximity. It's not necessarily going to school for acting or going to school, okay, to study filmmaking. It's making the films. It's taking all those dance classes and the vocal lessons and building those skills and then getting yourself to New York and getting yourself to where the action is. So that's number one. If you're struggling with how do I do it, let's ask a better how. I know that I want to do that. What are the right steps, the moves, the chess moves that I need to be more strategic? Where do I need to go in terms of proximity? Who is doing what I want to do at a higher level? How do I model? How do I be around those people? How do I make myself known to those people? These are better questions. How do I enroll those people and see me the way that I want to be seen? Am I undeniable in my skill level? Am I showing how hungry I am? Am I showing how resilient and brave and unstoppable I am in achieving what I want? Because those are actually the skills that you want to start developing right now. And in developing those skills, trust me, people want to be a part of people's ride that feel like they are not going to stop until they reach their destination. Okay. Another sentence that might be stopping you, or a thought in your mind might be, why me? This is imposter syndrome. It's like, well, all these other people are successful. All these other people are getting millions and millions of streams and millions of views on YouTube. Why even bother starting? I don't even know. I'll never get there. I'll never achieve it. And so you stop yourself. Don't stop yourself, because all those people that you're following and you are inspired by and that you envy, even possibly a little bit, hopefully not too much, but you know, the people who are really winning, by you saying, well, why bother for myself? You're denying the fact that those people put in the work. Those people who are winning now put in the work. They started somewhere. They started investing their time, their effort, their money. They started investing in that proximity, taking risks at the right time, enrolling in programs, enrolling in the training, enrolling in their mentorship. Who is around them that inspired them? All the wrong things that they did, all the mistakes they made, you're denying them that. You're saying that somehow they were just lucky. Somehow they were blessed. And maybe they were. But trust me, hard work went in to whatever level of success that these people that you're following and that you are admiring and that you are really holding in such high regard. I will bet money on the fact that they started somewhere and they put in the time. They did a lot. Doing, I always say. It took a lot for them to do, a lot of failures along the way to know what things worked and what things were working and what to invest and double down even more on to, really bridge that gap and to move their career along. Okay, you follow me? The other huge thing that stops people, like right here, is why not me? Maybe a parent in your life wasn't telling you not to pursue it, because that's usually the message, is parents are like, hey, be safe and go to school and, don't do this thing that you love, because being that creative person might lead you down the wrong road. I need you to find stability and comfort. But there's some of you who heard at a very young age, you're amazing. You can do this. You are extraordinary. You have such a gift. And those people, I want you to know how lucky you are to have parents in your corner, that you had maybe a coach, a teacher in your corner. Dua Lipa just did a special, and it was so nice because one of the segments was she honored one of the teachers in high school that recognized not only her gift, her voice, but that she was unstoppable in her pursuit, her work ethic, her just determination to reach the goals. He could see it. He nurtured it. He gave her a microphone. He gave her the spotlight. He gave her the solo. Yes, because sometimes the people who aren't as talented, but have that drive, that ambition, the focus, they get teachers, mentors, people's attention more than the people with this extraordinary talent. Hunger, desire goes a long way here. And so why I'm saying that the why not me is sometimes people have this idea that it needs to happen by 19, or maybe it happens by 20, 25, 30, 35. And you have this idea of like, hello, why not me? How come it's not happening? And you kind of stop putting in the work that maybe you once did, because you're waiting on someone to discover you. You're waiting on someone to hand it to you on a silver platter. And I don't know many athletes or business people, people who have really achieved high levels of success in whatever area, that have been waiting. You've got to really drive this bus. If you want to go somewhere, you're going to have to make a little plan. You're going to have to pull out your map, and you're going to have to say, I am here and I want to go there. And you're going to have to see all the pathways to get there. Because when one road is maybe blocked, or one road has too much traffic on it, you've got to find that way of getting around the roadblock and maybe get off the highway onto some smaller roads and then back on the highway. Are you able to navigate through the how? Are you? Because that's what it's going to take. And so I don't want this to be a heavy loaded video, but I definitely want to call you out. If you have a dream, if you have a voice in your head, I am encouraging you right now. Start seeing the how as all different possibilities. Don't lock into just one way. Don't lock into time frame. Don't say, if I don't make it by this age, then I'm getting off the bus. I'm not saying that you don't want to have targets. I'm not saying that you don't want to have some ideas of, okay, I've invested in this path for the last 2 months. It doesn't seem to be resonating. The audience, I am posting, let's say, on social media each and every day. I am telling my story. I am enrolling people the best that I know how, and it doesn't seem to be working. Well, that's a time to pivot. That's a time to maybe change, your hair color. Maybe that's a time to change the message a little bit. And maybe it's a time to just try a different tactic. I think about Post Malone a lot. If you're a fan of Post Malone, my understanding is that he was a prolific songwriter from the age like a teenager. And his dream was just to play songs with his guitar. No different than an Ed Sheeran, just prolific songwriter, writing songs all the time, really building that skill. And it wasn't working in terms of him selling himself as a singer-songwriter. But then someone said, hey man, here's a beat, here's an instrumental, let's see if you can write a top line to it. And so because he had built the muscle as a songwriter, he knew how to write melodies and lyrics, he was able to write that top line so easily. It was like, yo, that sounds amazing. More happened, more opportunities to write top line, more studios. And next thing you know, the guy is one of the biggest hip hop, urban artists of all time. And I love that for many years he performed just by himself on that stage, using lighting, using really cool visual effects on the video screens. It was just him and that instrumental, and he became one with the song. And he was just doubling down on, yo, I'm a songwriter. Yo, I'm a communicator, a storyteller. Whatever the production is doing, I don't really care as long as I'm able to stand on stages and connect to the audience. I call that having a larger goal or a bigger vision. You want to start to consider, do I have a really big goal, or am I stuck on the details? Because if you're stuck on the details, sometimes the details don't happen, like I said, in that linear way. And if he was stuck on, let's say, having a career like a Noah Kahan, he may have missed this opportunity to stand on those bigger stages the way that he has, to outsell just about anyone, to collaborate with some of the biggest artists in the world. And then right now, what did he do? Made a huge, massive pivot into country and work with a whole other realm of artists that he's always wanted to work with and collaborate with. He is just going for it in a completely different realm. Why? Because he built his fan base. He built his fame doing this thing that was just working. There was a flow. One of the things about being a true creative is we know that there is power in creativity. Creativity loves speed, flow, energy. And when energy is going forward, it is fluid, it is working. We want to double down, keep feeding that area, that energy, that flow, because we know that once we're kind of off into another realm and there's all these walls, we lose what? We lose inspiration. And everything is based on staying inspired. So let's keep down this rabbit hole a little bit longer. Now we see a Post Malone flourishing and really growing as an artist. I know that you've seen this in many other ways too. You know, a Jeff Bezos with Amazon started selling videos. He was sending videos to people's homes and then books to people's homes. He didn't just start Amazon selling a million things. You know, being able to, like, literally you just type in Amazon and you can get just about anything delivered in 24 hours. Boom, you know, amazing. But he started small. He started in this area or that, smaller, and then built from there. And of course, now he's taking, you know, trips to the moon and around our beautiful Earth. So the idea that you get fixed on one dream only to maybe block out some other opportunities that are coming to you, you want to start to widen the net, open your eyes to what is the opportunity in front of you and say yes. This means that you've got to control what's in your mind. You've got to control the messages that you have been told and heard from other people and start to rewrite those messages so that when you have that big idea of a dream, when you know that, oh, actually, it isn't just to be a singer-songwriter. It isn't just to, you know, whatever it might be for you. It's not just to write the book. What does writing the book actually mean that you get to do? Usually it's something about connecting, something about being validated, something about significance, something about inspiring people and inspiring the world and sharing who you are, being recognized for who you are, being seen as this person that has a gift and wants to connect that gift and connect with other people for it and with it. Is this making sense? Are you following what I'm saying? So what is your big goal? What is your big vision? And I am going to put it on the board here. You know, if we see it like it's an umbrella, okay, this is the big goal, okay, and maybe it's to be seen. And I just want you to think about underneath it that these are how. There's so many hows, so many roads that are leading to where you want to be. And these are all goals. They're all smaller goals, but you're not stuck. There's like, oh, I could do this and I could try that. And oh my gosh, I know people over here and I know people over there that might be able to help me. This is not a game of waiting. If you're waiting for permission, if you're waiting for someone to discover you, you're going to be waiting a long time. You do not need permission by your parents. You do not need to go to school for endless amounts of time to pursue something that is creative. Listen, I'm not speaking to the doctors and the lawyers out there, but I am speaking to the people who see themselves and view themselves as true creatives, people who aren't afraid to solve a problem. Let's elevate your standards. Let's start to see yourself and reflect on the truth of what you really want. And then you're going to start to notice how everywhere. Are you ready? I'm right here to help you. Let's stay with this. Don't leave this now. This is really gold, okay? And if you concentrate on the messages in your head and then maybe shifting them to creating a bigger message, start to see all the hows, your 2025 is going to be extraordinary. I'll guarantee it. If you like this video, I want you to click subscribe below, leave me a comment, and let's have more of this conversation. Don't wait. You're special. I believe in you. Let's go.